On the way to Hotel Gotham for the book club event. Did a little bit of filming with a boy. And yeah, it's April, but it's cold. Everyone got a drink? There's lots of alcohol available, so make sure you start drinking. Firstly, thank you for attending. I really appreciate it. Big thanks to Hotel Gotham, who got us a really good deal. And we needed it to be a little bit more intimate, to be honest. Sometimes when it's in a big crowd, people don't get the connection and the communication that they desire. So the smaller groups sometimes work for me. And we will be continuing to change it up a little bit and make sure that we ask the right questions to the audience and make sure that we give you guys what you guys need and want from the book club. The most important thing, and I haven't mentioned it enough, is the underpinning of knowledge. We have all read books before. We're all going to read books in the future, but ultimately what this book club has to be is a sounding board, but the ability to underpin knowledge, because if we're reading 12 books this year, but we're not implementing anything that we've learned from the books, then yes, we're doing something good, but we're not maximising its full potential. So what have I learned from last month's book, which was powerful, or what have I implemented? The main thing that I took was for hiring for the future. So within my business, within life insurance, we've just made a big transition, a big change, and I'm very, very conscious that the recruitment now has to be for the next 2 or 3 years, with the long-term vision in mind. Ultimately making sure that we're a high-performance team rather than that family and community spirit that we had previously. Not that that's wrong, but we want to be the best, and we have to be the best. So I've been hiring for the future for the last couple of months, and that's why Powerful was really powerful for me. What we have to understand in the world that we live in is, because of social media and the society that we live, we are based on referrals. We only go and get our hair cut or our nails done or whatever because somebody else said it was the right place to be, or that we have a connection within that industry or section. And ultimately that's what this book club will be about. It'll be about building connections, because everyone in here either owns a business, is aspiring to be self-employed, or to build and grow, and this network will ultimately enable us to do that. Next slide please, James. Deep Work was, for me, was a tough read, and I think for some other people was a tough read. And what I want to allow people to understand is as well that it doesn't matter if you don't finish the book, or if you haven't even started the book, or you come to the group a little bit late. It's about a community. So come here, you're going to understand the book, and you might read it next month, at the start of next month. But it's important that we all read together and help each other out. But Deep Work was a tough read for me. Pin the skills and knowledge that we've learned from Deep Work to understand how we can eradicate the social media as a distraction when we need to do our deep work. What are concentration loops? So if anyone's read the book, they'll know about those. And if they haven't, I'll help you. And the book talks about willpower, or I talk about bandwidth. So that's the capability to do your best work, and what kind of sections that or windows that you have to do that. So they're the 3 sections. Get yourself into 3 groups of 5, and then we'll start, if that's okay. I should set an alarm for 40 minutes because that's roughly how I feel like. But towards the end of the 40 minutes, if it's a tough task, I'm waning a little bit, I'm wanting to go on my phone, I want to go to the toilet, I'm looking around. So they're saying that you should probably potentially break the things down into 15-minute intervals, give yourself a 5 or a 10-minute break to go on your phone, to go to the toilet, and then come back. So that's the concentration loop.
So if I don't finish the task, it's not the end of the world. I'll do it tomorrow. That's what I do. I'll make sure I do it tomorrow. The only thing I didn't do with the intricate task is not read the full book. I'll admit that. Yeah, I'll admit that. So that's just me. The next part I want to talk about is depending on the task, which task should you do first? So whether you should do the hardest task or do the middle the easiest task. Me personally, I like to do the hardest task, but sometimes that can backfire. Sometimes it's easier to do the easiest task first and then focus on the hardest task. But with myself, I'm more more productive in the morning, so I prefer to like do the hardest task where my brain's more alert, I've got more concentration, I'm more happier, I'm more willing to do the hard task. I'm more willing for dealing with a customer that's going to scream down the phone, but I can deal with that in the morning because I've got the energy where.
And we spoke about the connection between physical agility and mental agility. So Rachel needs to take full credit for this because you're the only one that had read the full book, I think, out of the three of us. And you spoke about how it was really interesting that every example that we read of somebody in the book who was really successful had a physical routine as well. So I think you gave the example of somebody taking the bus to work and then walking to work and then getting all their deep work done. Or somebody going out for a run or building a cabin, which I think was the first example, and then getting the work done. And actually how every single example, that with I think the exception of J.K. Rowling, I don't know what her physical routine was, but there was a connection between if you have a strict physical routine, you will achieve more.
As Aaron was saying, I went to Tunisia the other week and ran final marathon with Russ Cook, aka the hardest geezer, who's the guy who's been running the length of Africa. So I was documenting that for work for a video, which was hard. It was like 30 degrees on the day that we were doing it. But I managed to do 22 miles out of the 28 of the last day. No, it's a day that I'll never forget. It was really cool, and everyone there was out there for the same reason and was really supportive and.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I seen a picture where there was loads of you just in like a pool and it looked.
Oh yeah.
What was happening there?
That was the after
You looked a
party.
bit too happy in that.
That was the after party. That was good. Yeah.
I was reading, obviously, I like reading, but I was reading the other day something very different. And someone said that if you do something for 15 minutes every single day, so I skip every single day for more than 15 minutes, and that'll put me in the top 5% in the world of people at skipping, because I skip for 15 minutes every single day. So you only have to practice something for 15 minutes every day and you're going to put yourself in the top 5%, which ultimately means that you can rule out the competition because everybody's distracted. So if you have a focus or a dream or a goal or an aspiration, 15 minutes of practice every single day is going to put yourself in the top 5%, which Ed was talking about moving the needle. That moves the needle. Do it again.